to do a video. It's me, Karen, from Authentically Me, and I decided that I was going to do a video about, well, not necessarily a video about it, but I wanted to do like a small series about self-acceptance, which I've been doing a lot of these days, and just dealing with one part that I've been hearing a lot in of late in different broadcasts or what have you, even on NPR, which I listen to all the time, which is body image. And I think it came from like one of the celebrities losing a lot of weight after the birth of her child, and and how the struggle to get back to that supposed beauty weight or what have you, is what everybody wants to do or wants to be, or the struggle for that that quest to get back to whatever is supposed to be normal. And how I have my own struggles with that, and now for me I choose something totally different. So I just thought, oh well, let me share about body image. Anyway, even as a teenager, I wasn't a skinny girl. I'm very stocky, and on average go between 10, 12, and during my pregnancies I could go as far as to 14, 16, but the average woman is a size 14. The average woman is a size 14. Yay! So anyway, but I didn't know that as a teen, and as a teenager I grew up, most of my time was as a teenager was in England. My dad was in the Air Force, so I spent 8th through my first and second year in college in England. It feels like home to me. So any people from England, hi, or good day, or maybe that's or hello mate. Anyway, but the good day is Australian. Anyway, but so yeah, so the people I saw around me mostly were smaller, slender. That's, I went to a school, Department of Defense school, so you had children, young people from all over, all military kids, all civilian employees, children, and what have you, went to my high school. And so I didn't see a lot of young women my size or what have you around. So the image that was portrayed before me as beauty was the slender body type, and I was one of those young people who strived for that. And I think it was in 9th grade I started running, mostly, for the most part, just like other young ladies. I ran to keep the weight down and try to be small, and I ate low fat everything and no fat everything. That's when that fad was in. No fat, low fat, you name it, I ate that. And so just running into a lot of difficulties. And I realize now that I'm a foodie, but back then I had no idea that I liked different types of food or whatnot. And in order to be able to eat and not gain weight, I fortunately turned to laxatives and things, because I was just trying to stay in this body type, because what was portrayed in Vogue magazine and other magazines was, this slender supermodel. And I there are other magazines that I really like that I would read quite often, which, like Essence and Ebony, but those weren't the images that I saw day to day. And so throughout my high school year, I did laxatives and went through a spell with bulimia, trying to control everything. And it wasn't until I started to try to understand food and healthier eating, but even still, that carried over into my adult life. And when I began having children, uh, the average person was told, like me, I would go into the doctor's office and I'm already stocky. And when the doctor would say, "You've already gained," I would be 6 months and already gained 20 pounds. I mean, you know, he would say, "Oh, at that time it was 25 pounds, 25 to 30 pounds." So I was already pushing it at 6 months. And I couldn't tell him what I was eating because I only grew up eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We didn't do a whole lot of snacks, and you only had sodas on when my mom felt like you needed a soda. Otherwise, she would say, "Drink water," and all the time. I don't believe my mom's the only one who used to say, "Drink water." So I'm sure there's some other people out there, but growing up, I hated water, but now I love water. That's primarily the only thing I drink. But and so I wasn't one of those women who gained 25 to 30 pounds while pregnant. I was one of those who gained 50 or more, and which is really scary. But that was just my body, and it wasn't cute to me. To get like large and in charge, as I called it. It wasn't, because I was thinking I was not fitting the ideal of pregnancy. So after giving birth to my first child, the fight to get that weight off, and looking at media, trying to figure out like, why wasn't that working for me? Why wasn't that body type working for me? If I just ate better, if I exercised more or what have you, then I would eventually get to that body type. I say all that to say, as I'm now older, I've given birth to 3 children. We have 4 children. Our son is adopted. Going through all that and watch my body change and whatnot, I had to come to a place where I realized that what I see, the images being portrayed, is not that may not be for me. And started to gravitate more towards women who have my body type, and then coming to understand what real nutrition is and eating right and exercise. And then once you eat right and you exercise, you have to leave and DNA, everything else is out of your control. You do what you can. And I did go through a period in adulthood where I was basically exercise bulimia, exercising to the point of exhaustion and sometimes hurting, like real pain in the joints or whatnot. And then after a while, my husband would say, "Why? What's the point in that? You look fine." I wasn't hearing a word he was saying. It was sweet, but even in my mind, I was thinking, "Oh, he's just saying that because I'm his wife and he loves me." But he really meant it, and I really had to learn how to accept that. I say all that to say, to all the young women my age, if you can relate, to coming through from young to now and understanding what our bodies are for, what they're meant for, how we should treat our bodies, and how we should learn to accept our bodies. I, for one, for many years hated cameras. I still have a hard time with cameras, and even sitting here talking to YouTube, I'm still trying to fix and adjust, because for me some things are not in proportion or what have you. But I'm learning to just say I'm okay. I exercise, I eat right, and and this is my body, and I accept it just as it is. It's working. I'm in good health. It gets me where I need to go. and I have nothing to complain about. I don't watch a lot of TV, and I don't have subscriptions to magazines and things like that. And the reason being is because, one, we have 3 daughters, and I didn't want them to have to go through all the media driven, even though they still have, their bouts with things and insecurities and what have you. And I've, let them know that you are fine just the way you are, and we are all unique. There's no reason to try and look like someone else. Just be you and be grateful for who you are and the gift that you have and the body that you've been given. Embrace it, accept it, take care of it. No matter what the media or anybody else says, you are you, and you're the only you, and and you are special and loved. The other thing I was going to say is, while I'm thankful now, it took me a while to get here, and I'm still dealing with body acceptance, and as I get older or what have you, but I'm coming to a place now where I'm just like, this is it, and get happy with it, or what else are you gonna do? But there's one thing that I found like 3 years ago. There was a website. She also has an Instagram. There's a woman. She has a website, an Instagram, a YouTube called Healthy is the New Skinny. I love that. When I saw the title of her Instagram and her different accounts, Healthy is the New Skinny, I thought I could totally get on board with that. I started to follow her and whatnot. She is a model. She used to be a model, a plus size model, and she talks about her journey between being a runway model and then becoming just a regular size model, and then you have plus size models. And I didn't know that there was a distinction between the 3 of them. I did not know that, which was incredible information. I don't feel qualified to talk about that, but I just thought it was interesting that you have regular size models, and regular size models in some instances don't make as much as plus size models, and plus size models don't make as much as runway models. But it's just just to be a normal size person. So anyway, if you ever look that up, Healthy is the New Skinny, I think that's great. I also think it's a great website or whatnot to send your teenage daughters to. She talks about body image, modeling, what beauty is, and and just all sorts of things. But anyway, this is my contribution to body image. I say accept you, love you, take care of you, and always say kind things to yourself. You are beautiful, and and we're special as well, and so are our bodies. No matter what's out there, I say look straight ahead, just at you, not anybody else. No, don't compare yourself with anybody else. Just take care of yourself and be grateful for who you are. And I think that's all for body image. But next time, I think I'm going to talk about skin. I think I have some really good skin hacks for my grandmother. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Otherwise, I'm talking to myself. And anyway, that's great. I'm learning to accept me on camera. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.